Think back to your very earliest memory. What do you see? Perhaps a birthday candle or a brightly colored toy. But try to push further back into your first 2 years of life. Suddenly, everything turns into absolute darkness. Every human being on Earth experiences this exact same mental black hole, yet almost nobody stops to ask why. Your brain was constantly absorbing information as an infant, learning how to walk, talk, and recognize familiar human faces. So why can you not remember your first steps, your first words, or your very first birthday party? Where did all those crucial moments go? Did your mind delete them, or are they buried deep inside your subconscious? This universal scientific phenomenon is officially known across cognitive neuroscience as infantile amnesia or childhood amnesia. For well over a century, psychologists and neuroscientists have fiercely debated what causes this total memory wipe. To solve this intriguing mystery, we must analyze the biological machinery operating inside the human brain. We need to examine how neural hardware reshapes itself while a child transitions into a self-aware individual. As we unpack this puzzle, you will discover that forgotten memories are not a flaw of nature. Instead, this memory reset is a fundamental requirement for building a complex, fully functional adult brain. Welcome back to ApexBehavior, where we dissect the hidden neurological mechanics governing human thought and action. Today, we are uncovering the exact biological reasons why your baby memories vanished forever into the void. Grab your notebook, hit that subscribe button, and let us dive straight into the human mind. Long before modern brain scanners existed, early psychologists attempted to explain why early memories simply vanish from consciousness. Sigmund Freud famously proposed that infant memories were intentionally repressed by the mind due to overwhelming psychosexual trauma. He believed the developing ego locked those early experiences away in a dark vault of the subconscious. While Freud's theories captured public imagination for decades, modern neurobiology has proven his repression hypothesis entirely wrong. Contemporary brain imaging reveals that infantile amnesia is not a psychological defense mechanism against early emotional distress. Rather, it is the direct consequence of rapid physical growth and structural transformation within the infant brain. Your early childhood memories were not hidden away from you. Their structural foundations were physically rewired and replaced. To understand how this physical restructuring occurs, we must examine a specialized brain architecture called the hippocampus. Nestled deep within the temporal lobe, the hippocampus acts as the primary processing center for long-term memory. Whenever you experience something new, the hippocampus registers the event and helps consolidate it into long-term storage. However, during the first few years of life, your hippocampus is nowhere near fully developed or mature. It undergoes an incredible explosion of growth, generating millions of brand new neurons in record time. This rapid creation of new brain cells is a remarkable biological process officially known as adult neurogenesis. While neurogenesis sounds like a purely positive upgrade, it comes with a major hidden trade-off for memory. As thousands of new neurons flood into the infant hippocampus, they disrupt existing neural circuits and established connections. Imagine trying to maintain a neat stack of papers while someone constantly shuffles brand new pages into the pile. The massive influx of new neurons continuously alters the wiring diagram of your early memory recording system. Memory traces formed during infancy, known technically as engrams, depend on stable pathways between specific groups of interconnected neurons. When new cells integrate into these existing engram networks, they alter the delicate connections and scramble the original code. Scientists demonstrated this exact biological mechanism through pioneering lab experiments conducted on developing rodents and young primates. When researchers artificially slowed down neurogenesis in young animals, those animals retained their early memories for much longer. Conversely, accelerating neurogenesis in adult animals caused them to forget previously learned tasks, mimicking infantile amnesia in adults. This breakthrough proved that high rates of neurogenesis actively overwrite and erase early episodic memory traces. Your infant brain sacrificed long-term personal memories in order to maximize its capacity for rapid real-time learning. During infancy, learning basic survivability skills was vastly more important than keeping a diary of daily personal events. Your brain prioritizes mastering language, motor coordination, and sensory processing over recording individual afternoon experiences. Therefore, the constant rewiring of the hippocampus sacrificed personal memories to build robust general cognitive abilities instead. But neurogenesis is only one piece of this fascinating puzzle. Language plays an equally critical role in memory. To understand how memories are stored and retrieved, we must look at how we structure our internal thoughts. Without language, human memories are encoded in a radically different format that adult brains cannot easily decode. Think about how you organize your daily thoughts right now. You likely rely heavily on an internal monologue. Adult memories are categorized, indexed, and retrieved using complex linguistic structures, narrative stories, and specific vocabulary words. However, during your first 2 years of existence, you possessed no formal language or verbal framework at all. Infant memories were encoded using raw sensory data, visual textures, emotional sensations, and nonverbal spatial cues. As you grew older, your brain completely shifted its memory indexing architecture to rely almost exclusively on language. When your adult mind attempts to look back into infancy, it is using a narrative-based search engine on nonverbal files. It is equivalent to trying to run modern computer software on an ancient, obsolete operating system without proper drivers. The raw data of early life experiences might still linger in distant neural corners, but you lack the decoder ring. Without verbal tags, your conscious adult mind simply cannot generate the necessary retrieval cues to unlock those scenes. Developmental psychologists observed that children begin forming durable personal memories right around the time they master complex sentences. Once a toddler learns to describe an event using words, that event becomes anchored to their linguistic network. This linguistic anchoring allows the child to recall the event months or even years into the future. Before language takes root, early moments remain fluid, isolated sensations that gradually drift away into forgetfulness. Yet even beyond language, another fundamental milestone must occur before lasting autobiographical memories can take form. That essential neurological milestone is the birth of your self-concept, or your internal sense of personal identity. Ask yourself a simple question: can you have a personal memory if you do not understand what you means? In early infancy, babies do not possess a clear cognitive awareness that they are separate individuals from the world. They experience sensations, emotions, and sights, but they do not attribute those experiences to a central self-entity. Child psychologists test this developmental boundary using a famous experimental technique known as the mirror red dot test. A small red dot of paint is placed secretly on a baby's nose, and they are placed in front of a mirror. Infants under 18 months usually reach out to touch the reflection in the glass, believing it is another child. But around 18 to 24 months, something remarkable changes inside the developing child's brain structure. The child reaches up to touch their own nose, demonstrating clear recognition that the reflection represents their own body. This pivotal moment marks the formal emergence of self-awareness and the birth of the explicit self-concept. Until this self-concept forms, memories cannot be tagged as personal autobiography. They lack an anchor saying, "This happened to me." Without that personal anchor tag, early experiences are stored as general knowledge rather than specific personal life history. You might know what a dog looks like, but you will not remember meeting a specific dog at the park. Cognitive psychologists draw a sharp distinction between this general semantic memory and personal episodic memory. Infantile amnesia specifically wipes away your early episodic memories, while leaving your functional semantic knowledge entirely intact. You retain the ability to walk, speak, and interact, even though the personal backstories behind those learnings disappear. To make your cognitive processing faster and more efficient, your brain engages in another drastic developmental process. During early childhood, your brain creates trillions of synaptic connections between neurons, far more than it will ever need. This dense web of hyperconnectivity allows an infant's brain to be extraordinarily flexible and receptive to new learning. However, maintaining billions of unused or redundant synaptic links requires huge amounts of biological energy and resources. To optimize efficiency, the brain initiates a biological cleanup process officially known as synaptic pruning or neural pruning. Specialized brain cells called microglia patrol the central nervous system, identifying and destroying weak, inactive synaptic links. Microglia act like master gardeners, meticulously trimming away overgrown branches so the primary trunk can grow stronger. Neural pathways that are repeatedly used and reinforced are preserved and strengthened with a protective layer of myelin. Meanwhile, pathways containing rare, unreinforced early childhood experiences are systematically dismantled and cleared out by microglia. This massive biological cleanup peaks between the ages of 2 and 7, permanently reshaping your brain's internal architecture. As those unused pathways dissolve, the delicate physical structures holding your early baby memories vanish along with them. Synaptic pruning effectively streamlines your cognitive operating system, making your adult brain remarkably fast, focused, and powerful. It traded away fleeting fragments of early childhood memories in exchange for sharp adult intellectual performance. So when you look back at your early years, you are witnessing the results of an extraordinary cognitive evolutionary trade-off. Your missing baby memories are not a tragic loss, but proof of an amazingly successful brain optimization. When you realize that your infant memories disappeared by design, it changes how you view your own mind. Your brain intentionally demolished its initial temporary scaffolding so it could construct the complex architecture of your adult identity. High neurogenesis allowed you to master language, while synaptic pruning sharpened your focus and analytical reasoning skills. The emergence of self-awareness gave you a personal story, even as it drew a curtain over your earliest moments. Though you cannot explicitly recall being a baby, those forgotten experiences still silently shaped who you are today. The emotional bonds, sensory comfort, and early environment you experienced provided the subconscious foundation for your personality. Your forgotten past lives on in how you react to stress, show affection, and navigate complex human relationships. Understanding infantile amnesia reminds us that human memory is built for survival and growth, not perfect archival storage. If you found this deep neurological exploration fascinating, please give this video a like and share your thoughts below. Thank you for watching Apex Behavior, and remember to keep exploring the incredible mechanics of your own mind.